with me, Reverend Lee Wolak. We're here each and every day exploring life. And today I decided to talk about clarity because I think people are less clear than ever. I think what people are doing is they speak some truth, but they don't feel the same truth. They speak or act in a certain way, but the actions are not alignment with their thoughts. The actions are not alignment with their words. Their feelings aren't aligned with the actions. And so when you're a conscious creator, you understand that clarity is the most important single thing we do in order to tap into our infinite power, to create the life that we want. So it's about having a clarity of purpose. What's your purpose for today? What is it that you desire to accomplish today? And let me just take that a little deeper. Not only what do you hope to accomplish today, but who are you going to be while you accomplish that? You see, it's more important about how you do something than what you do. Are you doing it out of love? Are you doing it out of greed? Are you doing it out of expansion? Are you doing it out of contraction? See, this whole idea of clarity is really an individual asking themselves really good questions. Really good questions. Questions that cause a greater visualization with more detail, with more juice, with more life. Because we're here to experience as much of this life as we possibly can. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Don't rely on anyone outside of you for your juice. Don't rely on anyone outside of you for your clarity. Your clarity doesn't come from anyone else, it comes from you. That's like today at 10, we're going to do the values determination process. Why? Because the individuals doing that process will get clarity about what's most important to them, and then they take those top values and they make them the basis of every decision they make. So the purpose of the workshop is not for me to know anything, it's for them to answer questions that give them the clarity of mind, of purpose, of foundation. If you've not done the values workshop and you want to do it, I got a link down in the description as I put there. It's going to be a small, intimate workshop, so if there was ever a good time to do it, this would probably be the one. It would be the best investment of your time and money that you've done in maybe your life. That's how much I believe in this workshop. I know it changed my life. I mean, I'm always looking at my values and making them the basis of almost every decision. I do my best. I do my best. I want to tell you I'm perfect, but I'm perfectly flawed. How's that? I am perfect, and I have perfect flaws as well, just like we all do. And so I am really clear that the worst thing that in my life is my own self-judgment. I'm really clear on that. So what I'm doing is being consciously aware that I have unconscious habits of self-judgment. And when I catch those, I start to create new habits that override that. See, that's the thing that we've got to understand. Is that if you've got a habit that's not serving you, you can't just get rid of the habit and not do anything. You've got to replace it with something. The universe does not leave voids. So your ability to choose says, okay, let's say it's smoking. I'm going to get rid of the habit of smoking. I did this, so this is why it's relevant. I had the habit of smoking. Had a young baby. Had it in my arms, walking outside, Tampa, Florida, smoking a cigarette. Baby's looking at me. Oh, shoot. This is not the image that I want my son to grow up with, a father smoking. And see, my value is being a great father. So being an example to my son was really important to me. So when I saw him looking at me, I threw the cigarette down, I quit. What did I replace it with? Believe it or not, jogging. I was 33 years old at the time, and I picked up jogging, and I jogged for the next 20 some years until I realized jogging wasn't the best thing for my body as I matured. When you're young, it's great. When you're older, there are other things that are easier on your body. I'm going to share with you about clarity. I'm really clear that spiritual practice works. Yesterday, I was on a hike. We were going to do about 5 miles. Didn't do 5 miles. Maybe did 3.5. I don't know. But one of the things that happened was we were in the middle of the hike, and we were by a lake, a big lake, and there was a really great breeze. And I just said to my bud, let's sit down. Each of us sat down on a rock right there with the water in front of us. And I said, we're going to do Wim Hof breathing. And so I led us in 4 rounds of Wim Hof breathing in the sun, in the wind, by the water, hearing the surf. And it only took us 13 minutes to do the 4 rounds. Let me tell you how peaceful the mind became, how reconnected you were, how energized by simply being a conscious creator and having the clarity within your mind to realize it's not about just hiking, it's about being in the hike. And sometimes being in the hike means get away from the city, get away from your problems, be in the midst of a hike, in the midst of the woods or whatever, and stop and breathe. It was incredible for me. And I think it was incredible for my bud as well. I'm learning more and more and more every day to stop. I'd say smell the roses, but it's you get what I'm saying. It's about breathe. I can remember I'm watching Laura's out there, and she's in Italy. And I'm remembering when we were in Italy a few years back, 2 or 3 years ago, we were in Pisa. And I remember being in the baptismal outside of the Leaning Tower, outside of the cathedral. And I can remember just sitting and taking a moment to just be. And the energy overwhelmed me. See, so many times we go into places as tourists to see. I went to Italy to experience, to feel things at the core of my depths, and that's what happened. Not only in Pisa, in Florence, in Tuscany, in Rome, in St. Peter's. I had a clarity of purpose, and I aligned clarity of words, clarity of feelings, clarity of actions. I had a clarity of agreements with my wife about what this trip was about, and we created the best trip ever. Just be and feel, absolutely, Kathy. There's nothing better. But we're so inundated by things in the outside world that we think that we've got to do what everyone else is doing. Folks, look at everybody else and ask the question, is that the experience you were meant to have, that you choose to have? Or is there something unique that's in you desiring to be experienced? I'm going to tell you, there's something unique in you that you want to experience. But only you can give the universe the clarity of thoughts, words, actions, and feelings, the clarity of intention that I am going to experience this. And here's a big one, gang. I am worthy of the experience. So often we don't feel worthy of what we're about to have. Be worthy. You're an expression of the infinite. And the infinite's pleasure is to give you everything that you're clear about. With that, hey, if you want to join me for values, it's in, less than 2 hours from now. You can still sign up. I put the link up there. If you want to know anything about Agape, go to agapespiritualcenter.com. Remember, tomorrow I start a half hour early. It's Sunday. So I do my talk here at 7:30. With that, thank you for joining me, giving me a part of your day. I want you to know I appreciate you, accept you, and love you just the way you are. Until next time, aloha.